The smell of sweat, leather, and fresh mats fills the air inside Iron Fist Dojo, a well-known local gym where young fighters come to prove themselves. It's late afternoon, and the place is buzzing. Students practicing kicks, beginners learning basic stances, and advanced fighters sparring loudly in the center. The sliding door opens quietly. An older man steps in, calm, steady, and surprisingly unnoticed. Dressed in a simple black jacket, sunglasses, and loose training pants, Steven Seagal walks inside the gym with the same quiet confidence he's carried his whole life. He doesn't announce himself. He doesn't need to. But one person notices. A cocky young black belt fighter, built, loud, and known for his attitude, spots him standing near the wall. He smirks, nudges his friends, and whispers loud enough for the whole mat to hear. "Yo, who let their grandpa walk in here? This is a dojo, not a retirement home." A ripple of laughter moves through the room. Seagal doesn't react. Hands folded behind his back. Expression calm, as if the world around him doesn't exist. This annoys the black belt even more. He takes a few steps forward, swagger in every movement. "Hey, old man," he calls out, "you lost? Or are you looking for a Tai Chi class for seniors?" More laughter. Phones start coming out. Some students begin recording just in case something interesting happens. A few at the back whisper quietly, "Wait, is that? No, can't be." He looks like him though. But the black belt isn't paying attention to any of that. His ego has locked onto a target. He circles closer, rolling his shoulders, doing tiny warm-up hops as if preparing for a fight. "You sure you should be here?" he says in a mocking tone. "We don't want you breaking a hip in front of everyone." Still, no reaction. Steven Seagal simply lifts his chin slightly, eyes half closed behind his shades, watching, listening, calculating. The room falls strangely quiet for a moment, sensing something is off. Something about that stillness, that posture, that presence. And then, the first real hook of the story hits. What Seagal did next left the entire gym frozen in shock. The awkward laughter in the dojo begins to fade as Steven Seagal slowly removes his sunglasses, folding them carefully and placing them inside his jacket. His movements are calm, almost too calm, the kind that comes from decades of discipline and mastery. A stillness settles around him, like the air is waiting for something to happen. But the black belt thug only sees one thing, an old man who refuses to react. And to him, that is an invitation. All right, the thug says, raising his hands dramatically, turning to the crowd. "Looks like Grandpa wants to prove a point today." He claps loudly. "Come on, let's give him some attention." The gym bursts into whistles and teasing shouts. People form a loose circle around the mats. Phones rise up to record. Someone yells, "World Star moment incoming." The instructor, an older karate master, steps forward with a worried look on his face. "Let it go, Ryan," he warns the black belt. "That man is—" "I know who he thinks he is," Ryan interrupts. "Some old washed-up action star. This is a dojo, sensei, not a movie set." The instructor tries again, but Steven raises one hand gently, signaling silence. "It's fine," he says softly. "If he wants to train, I will join him." The room murmurs. That voice, calm, deep, and full of authority, is unmistakable. Ryan grins, cracking his knuckles. "A training session? No problem, old-timer. But don't blame me when you call your chiropractor tonight." Seagal steps onto the mat with slow, steady footwork, not showing off, not flexing, simply being present. His breathing is quiet, his posture relaxed, his eyes half open, scanning Ryan's movements with the precision of a predator. Ryan begins bouncing on his toes, shadowboxing, showing off high kicks and fast jabs. The crowd cheers. "Let's see if Grandpa can dodge this." He lunges forward, stopping just inches from Seagal's face, a fake-out punch. Seagal doesn't flinch. Not even an eyelash moves. Ryan steps back, irritated. "Oh, I get it. You're one of those Zen master types. Think you're too cool to react? Don't worry. I'll wake you up." He moves again, circling, taunting, throwing light taps to Seagal's shoulder, trying to provoke him. Seagal simply pivots his foot, adjusting his stance subtly, like he's mapping out Ryan's weaknesses. The instructor sees it. The older students see it. But Ryan has no idea what danger he's walking into. He laughs loudly. "You're not even defending yourself, old man. This is supposed to be martial arts, not meditation class." Seagal answers in a calm whisper. Defense begins with understanding. Ryan rolls his eyes. Bro, what fortune cookie did that come from? The crowd giggles again, but much more nervously this time. Finally, Ryan spreads his arms wide. Come on, hit me at least once. Show these kids you're not made of dust. Seagal just looks at him. Patient, silent, unshakable. The instructor steps back. He knows the storm is coming. Ryan, now getting frustrated and embarrassed, steps in closer than before. Too close, his stance sloppy, his balance compromised. He reaches out as if to grab Seagal's shoulder. But Seagal gently shifts his foot an inch. Then Ryan feels it. A pressure, a presence, a shift in the air. Someone whispers from the crowd. Oh my God, he's really Steven Seagal. Phones move even closer. Everyone senses something big is about to happen. Have you ever seen someone underestimate the wrong person? Tell me in the comments, and let me know which country or city you're watching from right now. Ryan scoffs one last time. All right, old man. Enough warm-up. Let's see what you've got. He charges. And that's when the unforgettable moment begins. Ryan explodes forward with all the confidence of someone who has never truly been tested. His feet slap against the mat, fists tight, breath loud. He comes in swinging, wild, fast, and reckless. The crowd leans in, phones raised. Someone whispers, he's gonna rock that old dude. Another whispers back, I don't think so. Look at Seagal's stance. Steven Seagal doesn't move. Not an inch. Ryan throws the first punch, fast, aimed directly at Seagal's jaw. It slices the air, and Seagal shifts his head barely a centimeter. Just enough. Just perfect. Ryan's punch misses by a whisper. The thug stumbles forward, surprised. Seagal's voice emerges low and calm. Don't lead with your intention. What? Ryan snaps. Before he can react, Seagal gently taps Ryan's elbow with 2 fingers, redirecting his entire arm. Ryan spins slightly off balance. The crowd murmurs. They were expecting punches, kicks, a dramatic movie scene. But what they were seeing was something else entirely. Control, precision, mastery. Ryan regains his footing and charges again, this time with a full combination, jab, cross, hook. He's fast, he's skilled, and he's angry. But Seagal, he doesn't block. He doesn't dodge dramatically. He simply isn't there. Each punch slips past him like he's made of smoke. Tap. Seagal's wrist meets Ryan's forearm and diverts the jab. Shift. Seagal turns his hips, and the cross flies by harmlessly. Slide. He steps half an inch aside, and the hook cuts through empty air. Ryan's face reddens with frustration. What are you doing? Stand still and fight me. Seagal looks at him with that same patient stillness. You're fighting yourself, he says. The crowd goes silent. Ryan screams and lunges with a full-force tackle, aiming to grab Seagal around the waist and slam him into the mat. Bad idea. Seagal's hand comes up like lightning, barely visible. His fingers press lightly into a nerve under Ryan's jaw. Ryan's entire body freezes. The crowd gasps. Someone whispers, pressure point. Oh, he's in trouble. Ryan jerks backward, trying to shake off the numbness spreading down his neck. But Seagal is already a step ahead, literally. As Ryan retreats, Seagal advances 1 step. Just one. But that single step feels like a wall collapsing forward. Ryan gulps. For the first time, fear flickers in his eyes. He throws a desperate kick. Seagal's foot snakes under Ryan's ankle and lifts slightly. Ryan slips. His balance crumbles like sand. He stumbles, arms flailing. The crowd reacts. Oh, bro's done. Somebody stop recording. I can't breathe. Ryan catches himself, panting heavily now. You think you're smarter than me? He spits. Seagal shakes his head slowly. I don't think. I see. Ryan charges again, a final all-or-nothing move. This time Seagal moves. The dojo seems to slow down. Seagal's right hand glides around Ryan's wrist. His left hand circles behind Ryan's elbow. His hips turn at a perfect angle. The technique is gentle, effortless, inevitable. Ryan's momentum becomes his own enemy. Seagal barely flicks his wrist. Whip. Ryan's body lifts off the ground. A full arc. A perfect Aikido throw. Boom. Ryan crashes onto the mats, the sound echoing through the dojo like thunder. The entire crowd erupts. No way. Oh my God. He flipped him without force. Bro got launched into another dimension. Grandpa? That's a war machine. Ryan groans, clutching his back. But Seagal doesn't finish there. He walks toward Ryan slowly, footsteps silent. Ryan tries to stand. Seagal places 2 fingers on Ryan's shoulder. Just 2. Ryan collapses to his knees. "Your center is broken," Seagal states calmly. Ryan looks up, face red with humiliation. "This isn't over," he growls. Seagal kneels down slightly, meeting his eyes. "It is." Ryan swings at him from the ground. One last desperate punch. This is the moment that becomes unforgettable. Seagal captures the punch midair with one hand. His other hand gently presses Ryan's wrist. And then, crack, pop, smack. A single, precise palm strike. Not to the face. Not to knock him out brutally. But to a nerve cluster along the jawline. A controlled strike, designed to shut down consciousness instantly, without lasting damage. Ryan's eyes roll back. His body collapses sideways. He hits the mat. Unconscious. Phones shake as people gasp. Someone screams. "That wasn't a movie hit. That was real." Another voice explodes. He said, "You're just an old grandpa," and then got sent to his ancestors. Students run forward to check on Ryan. The instructor bows deeply to Seagal. The dojo is completely silent now. Respect hangs in the air like incense. Seagal steps back, offering a calm nod. "Training," he says softly, "is about humility." He picks up his sunglasses, puts them on, and walks away as the crowd parts like he's made of fire. What did you think of this moment? And tell me, which country or city are you watching from? I want to see how worldwide this story really is. Ryan lies unconscious. The KO is complete. The humiliation? Unforgettable. The legend of that day? Just beginning. The dojo is frozen. Ryan's body lies motionless on the mat, his chest rising and falling slowly. The same crowd that was laughing minutes ago now stands in stunned silence. Phones still held up, but hands trembling. No one expected this. They thought they were about to watch a show. Instead, they witnessed a masterclass. A few students crouched beside Ryan, lightly tapping his shoulder. He's out cold. Bro didn't just get knocked out. He got spiritually unplugged. Is he breathing? Yeah, he's fine, but his ego might not wake up. The instructor, Sensei Nakamura, a respected teacher in the community, rushes over. His eyes immediately widen when he sees Seagal standing calmly at a distance, hands folded in front of him like nothing extraordinary happened. Nakamura bows deeply. "Master Seagal, you honor my dojo." A ripple of shock goes through the crowd. "Master? Seagal?" People start whispering urgently. "I knew it. I told you that was him. Bro, he's a legit Aikido master. This wasn't some random guy." Ryan picked a fight with Steven Seagal? Man, rest in peace to his pride. Someone zooms in with their phone. Another whispers, "This is going viral in like 2 hours." Someone else mutters, 2 hours? Try 10 minutes. In the center of it all, Seagal simply bows back to Nakamura with quiet respect. Ryan begins to stir, groaning in confusion. He blinks at the ceiling, trying to remember how consciousness works. What happened? One of his friends replies, "Bro, you got folded like laundry." Another adds, "You talked trash to Seagal, and then he showed you the afterlife." Ryan's face flushes with humiliation. He tries to stand, wobbling slightly. Seagal steps forward and gently places a hand on his back to steady him. "Don't rush," he says softly. "Breathe. Focus your center." Ryan's anger melts into something unexpected, fear mixed with respect. "I didn't know who you were," he mutters. Seagal shakes his head. "It wouldn't have mattered if you did. Respect isn't selective. It's a way of life." The words cut deeper than any strike. The entire dojo falls silent, drawn into the gravity of the moment. Nakamura steps closer. "Ryan, you have skill. But skill without humility is dangerous. Let this be your lesson." Ryan nods slowly, swallowing the last of his pride. Meanwhile, the students start reviewing the footage on their phones. "Bro, look at this angle. His hand moved so fast it's blurry. Send it to me. I'm posting this. Hashtag Grandpa Got Hands." Are we even allowed to post it? Too late, someone live streamed it. And just like that, the internet takes over. You can hear notification pings echoing around the gym. "Yo, I'm already getting comments." "What? Mine too. This is gonna explode worldwide." Nakamura turns back to Seagal. "Master, would you honor us with a demonstration?" Seagal shakes his head, offering a small smile. "I came here only to observe, and to remind a few young men of balance." He turns to Ryan. You have power, but power without discipline collapses on itself. Learn control, and you will go far. Ryan lowers his head. For the first time, he bows deeply. I'm sorry for disrespecting you. Seagal returns the bow, equal and humble. No need for sorry. Just learn. This moment shifts the entire room. People who came to show off now stand with softened eyes. Those who came with ego now feel something stir inside them. Respect. Real respect. Seagal begins to leave, walking toward the door with slow, steady steps. Students instinctively move aside, creating a path for him. Not out of fear, but honor. Someone whispers, "Bruh." He walks like he owns the ground. Another replies, he doesn't own it. He just knows how to move through it. As Seagal reaches the exit, a young boy, maybe 12, nervous, holding his belt too tightly, calls out, "Master Seagal, how did you stay so calm?" Seagal stops, turns slightly, and answers in a tone that feels like it comes from another world. When you know who you are, no one can shake you. The room goes silent again. The boy nods, eyes wide with inspiration. Seagal places a gentle hand on his shoulder. Train wisely, little warrior. Then he steps out of the dojo. The door slides shut behind him with a soft click. Inside, the room erupts into a storm of voices. What a legend. No way we just witnessed that. Bro, this is better than any action movie. Ryan's gonna be a meme for months. Ryan, still recovering, shakes his head slowly. That wasn't a fight, he mutters. That was a lesson. Someone replies, yeah, and you got an A in getting humbled. The dojo buzzes with renewed energy. Old rivalries soften. Egos deflate. The entire atmosphere shifts. Calmer, wiser, transformed. Steven Seagal didn't just knock out a black belt. He restored respect to an entire room. The dojo feels like it's vibrating. Half from the adrenaline still lingering in the air, half from the non-stop pinging of notifications as the video of Ryan's KO spreads like wildfire. Students are gathered in small groups, whispering, debating, replaying clips from different angles. Ryan sits alone on the edge of the mat, head bowed, sweat dripping down his face. The guy who walked in with swagger now looks like a deflated balloon. Not angry, not even embarrassed anymore. Just humbled, deeply. A few students glance at him, but none mock him. What happened was too real, too raw, too powerful for joking now. Sensei Nakamura approaches him quietly. Ryan, he says, sitting beside him. Do you know why this happened? Ryan sighs. Because I acted like a jerk? Nakamura shakes his head gently. No, because you lost yourself. Skill blinded by ego is like a blade with no handle. Sharp, but impossible to control. Ryan wipes his face, nodding slowly. I thought I was unbeatable. That, Nakamura says, is the first step toward defeat. Across the room, more students are watching the footage. One plays the exact moment Seagal caught Ryan's punch midair. Look at this. He didn't even tense. He just absorbed the strike. Another rewinds to the Aikido throw. Bro, look. Ryan wasn't even thrown. He threw himself. Seagal just redirected him. Someone else zooms in on the KO. This right here, this should be studied in textbooks. A group bursts into laughter, not mocking Ryan, but stunned at Seagal's technique. He got knocked out without damage. That's the craziest part. It wasn't a punch. It was like Seagal pressed the off button. Ryan overhears, but stays quiet. The door suddenly opens. A group of late-arriving students rush in, panting. Bro, where is he? Is he still here? We heard Steven freaking Seagal was here. Another student shows them the video on his phone. Too late. Look at this. The newcomers watch in disbelief. No way. He flipped Ryan like a pancake. Why is his hand so fast? Ryan groans softly. Nakamura places a hand on his shoulder. Let them talk, he says. This is part of your growth. Meanwhile, the dojo's receptionist walks toward Nakamura, holding her phone with wide eyes. Sensei, look at this. It's already happening. The video, posted barely 20 minutes ago, is exploding. 50K views, 95K views, 181K views. Trending number 12 in the region. Comments are flooding in. Old man. More like ancient weapon. Bro challenged a final boss without leveling up, faced with tears of joy. Seagal still got it. Respect raised fist. Ryan got folded and refold. Is this the greatest dojo moment ever recorded? Ryan buries his face in his palms. Nakamura sighs. Ryan, Come with me. He leads him to the center of the dojo. The students notice. One by one, conversations fade. Phones lower. Whispers stop. Nakamura raises his voice. Everyone, I want your attention. Complete silence. Today you all saw something incredible. A demonstration of true mastery. But more than technique, you witnessed humility, discipline, and control. He turns toward Ryan. And you saw what happens when pride replaces purpose. Ryan closes his eyes, taking a shaky breath. Nakamura continues. This dojo is not a playground for ego. It is a place of honor. A place to grow. Today, Ryan received a difficult lesson, but a necessary one. Ryan finally stands straight and faces the room. I disrespected a master, he says quietly. I disrespected this dojo. And I disrespected what martial arts is supposed to be. No one moves. I thought strength was loud, he continues. But today, I saw real strength. And it was quiet, calm, controlled. He bows, deeply, to everyone. I'm sorry. The students exchange looks. Some nod. Some smile softly. Some bow back. Respect, restored again. Nakamura smiles gently. Good. Growth begins when pride ends. Then the door buzzes again, this time from outside. The receptionist rushes in, even more panicked. Sensei, the clip just hit 1.2 million views. The dojo erupts. What? In 20 minutes? Seagal broke the internet again. Someone shouts. Turn on the TV. The small wall-mounted screen flickers to life. A news alert appears. Viral. Steven Seagal schools cocky black belt in local dojo. Ryan's jaw drops. No. The reporter continues. This shocking footage shows the martial arts legend delivering a flawless display of Aikido technique. The anchor rewinds the KO in slow motion. Ryan lets out a long, painful groan. Oh God, it's on national news. Students gather around the TV like fans watching a championship fight. Bro, he's famous now, but for the wrong reason. At least he'll be a meme forever. You were talking trash, now you're trending. Ryan shakes his head. I'm never living this down. Nakamura responds calmly. You will, when you earn it. Redemption is possible, but humility must guide you from now on. Ryan nods, accepting the painful truth. But the storm outside the dojo? It's only just beginning. Because the world has now seen the knockout, and millions are about to react. By evening, the dojo is unrecognizable. Camera lights glare through the front windows. News vans choke the street. Reporters crowd the entrance like it's a crime scene. Students stand packed inside, murmuring as notifications keep ringing. The viral clip has crossed 8 million views in only 2 hours. Hashtags dominate every platform. Hashtag Grandpa KO. Hashtag Seagal still got it. Hashtag respect the masters. Hashtag Ryan got folded. Somewhere in the back of the dojo, Ryan sits with his head in his hands, looking like a man awaiting a court verdict. Every ping from someone's phone feels like another punch to his ego. Bro, this is global, a student says, staring at his screen. Even Brazil is posting memes. Nah, look, Japan's commenting too. Wait, Mike Tyson shared it. Ryan covers his face in shame. Sensei Nakamura watches him with quiet sympathy, though disappointment still lingers in his eyes. Suddenly, knock knock knock. The dojo door slides open. A flood of reporters push microphones inside. Sensei, is it true Steven Seagal knocked out one of your students? Can we interview the fighter? Is the dojo planning to host Seagal again? Is the student pressing charges? Nakamura raises his hands. This is a place of training, not a circus. Please leave. They don't listen. Cameras shove closer. Students back up. The dojo becomes chaos. That's when the receptionist rushes out of her office, holding a phone. Sensei, Master Seagal just posted a statement. The room freezes. Everyone turns toward her. She clears her throat and reads aloud. I did not come to humiliate anyone. I came to observe a dojo and was challenged without provocation. Pride is the enemy of progress. Respect is the path. Another message follows. The young man showed courage. I hope he continues training with discipline. The dojo goes completely silent. Even Ryan looks up slowly, shocked. He said that about me? Nakamura nods. He did. Reporters immediately explode with more questions. Sensei, may we speak to the student? Is he here? Ryan, did you hear Seagal's statement? Hearing his name shouted by the entire front row of news crews makes Ryan shrink even further into himself. Nakamura puts a hand up again. No interviews. But reporters keep pushing. Ryan, do you regret provoking him? Do you think he used excessive force? Are you embarrassed? Are you going to challenge him again? Are you quitting martial arts? Ryan's breath becomes uneven. His face turns pale. It's too much. He stands abruptly. Sensei, I need air, he mutters, rushing toward the back exit. Outside, he leans against the wall, gasping. The cold air hits his face. It helps, but only a little. Then he hears footsteps. The back door opens. Nakamura joins him quietly. You cannot run from consequences, the sensei says. Ryan nods slowly. I know, it's just, everyone hates me. No, Nakamura replies. They are entertained by your mistake. There is a difference. Ryan looks down at his hands. I embarrassed you. I embarrassed the dojo. You embarrassed yourself, Nakamura says, not unkindly. And that is the easiest type of embarrassment to fix. Ryan stares at him, confused. How do I fix this? Nakamura folds his arms. By telling the truth. Not to the cameras. To yourself. Ryan exhales shakily. That I'm not as good as I thought. That you stopped learning, Nakamura corrects. A martial artist is always a student, even at the highest level. Today, you forgot that. Ryan leans back against the wall. I feel like quitting. Nakamura shakes his head firmly. If you quit because of failure, then you never trained for the right reasons. Humiliation isn't the end, it's the beginning. Most people never get this chance. Ryan lets the words absorb. Inside the dojo, reporters are still shouting. Someone bursts through the door. It's the receptionist again. Sensei, Seagal just posted another message. A video. Everyone inside gasps. Ryan closes his eyes, bracing himself for a public roasting. But when the receptionist plays the video, the dojo falls silent. Steven Seagal appears, seated calmly in a dimly lit room. He looks straight into the camera. To the young fighter. You showed spirit. What you lacked was humility. But humility can be learned. If you continue training, you will become strong. Much stronger than you are today. Ryan's eyes widen. Seagal continues. True strength is quiet. True warriors don't mock. And true growth begins with respect. He nods once, slow and solemn. If you wish to learn, I will train with you someday. The video ends. The dojo explodes. What? Brew he offered to train him. This is the greatest redemption arc ever. Ryan, you're so lucky. How are you sad right now? Ryan stands frozen. He can't speak. He can't blink. Nakamura smiles warmly. Now, the path is in front of you. Ryan wipes a tear from his cheek. The first real emotion he's shown all day. Sensei, I want to change. Nakamura puts a hand on his shoulder. Good. Then begins now. The sun had begun to dip behind the city skyline, casting long shadows through the windows of Iron Fist Dojo. Inside, the students were quiet, still processing the events of the day. Phones were buzzing incessantly, each notification a reminder that the world outside had witnessed what unfolded. Social media was ablaze. Millions of views, thousands of shares, and comments from every corner of the globe. Ryan stood in the center of the dojo, hands trembling slightly, still absorbing the weight of everything. Earlier, he had been humiliated, mocked, and sent sprawling onto the mat by someone he thought was just an old man. Now, he felt something entirely different, clarity. He remembered Seagal's words from the video. Humility can be learned. True strength is quiet. True warriors don't mock. Those words echoed in his mind, stronger than any punch he had thrown or taken. The instructor, Sensei Nakamura, approached him with a calm smile. Ryan, he said gently, today was not the end of your journey. It was a beginning. The embarrassment, the viral clip, the global attention, these are just mirrors. What matters is what you do next. Ryan nodded, swallowing hard. I understand now. I let pride blind me. I mocked a master, and I deserved every lesson. A student whispered from the back. Hey Ryan, you okay? He looked around and smiled faintly. Yeah, I think I'm finally learning what it means to be a martial artist. Outside, the news vans had left, but the story was far from over. Social media platforms were flooded with clips of the KO, Seagal's calm demeanor, and Ryan's humbled posture. Fans from different countries commented, tagged friends, and shared their reactions. Grandpa KO teaches life lessons, not just martial arts. Seagal is a living legend, respect earned, not demanded. Ryan's reaction shows humility. Maybe he's going to be great someday. It wasn't just about the fight anymore. It was about integrity, humility, and discipline. Ryan understood that now. The world wasn't mocking him. It was witnessing transformation. Later, Seagal himself posted another message. The young man showed courage, and I have offered guidance. This is the path of learning, not fame. True mastery begins with respect, for yourself, for others, and for the art. Ryan rewatched it, sitting quietly in the dojo, and felt a renewed sense of purpose. He realized that this viral moment was not about embarrassment. It was about growth, lessons, and the power of humility. Over the next few weeks, Ryan trained harder than ever before. He focused on control, balance, and mental discipline. The students noticed the change. He was no longer reckless or arrogant. His movements became deliberate, precise, and calm. Even his peers, who had laughed at his earlier mockery, began to respect his dedication. Meanwhile, the video continued to circulate online, inspiring people beyond martial arts. Comments poured in. This is what humility looks like. Strength is quiet. I love this lesson. Sometimes the greatest teachers are those who never raise their voice. Teachers, coaches, and martial artists began using the clip as a teaching moment in gyms worldwide. Seagal's calm philosophy and Ryan's transformation became a viral lesson in patience, humility, and respect. Months later, Seagal returned to the dojo, not for a fight, but for a seminar. Ryan, now more disciplined and aware, bowed as Seagal entered. The students gathered around, eager to witness the legend firsthand again. Seagal smiled and spoke softly. Today, I see the student who almost lost himself. Now, I see a young man ready to grow. Ryan bowed, genuinely grateful. Thank you, Master. I will not forget these lessons. The room erupted in quiet applause, not for the KO, but for the journey. The transformation from arrogance to humility, from reckless strength to true mastery. The story had begun with a viral KO, but it ended with a lesson for the world. Strength is not measured by power alone, but by patience, discipline, and respect. And on every phone, in every classroom, gym, and dojo that replayed the moment, one truth was clear. Humility and respect are the greatest victories of all. If you believe true strength comes from humility and respect, type respect in the comments. Share this story, and let's inspire the world, one lesson at a time.